It was 2021. It was the Arab Championship in Tunisia. I was running 100-meter race that day. And for the first time in my life, I felt that it was going to be different. I felt like I was so close to winning my first individual Arab medal. So when the starter stood there, holding the gun and saying, "On your marks, set," poof. At the sound of the gun, all I could hear was my breath, and all I could feel was my body pushing and running as fast as I could. And when I crossed the finish line, I came in third place, and I got a bronze medal. And I broke the Lebanese record yet again. So you can imagine my excitement to go back home. Home. And so when I walked up to the immigration officer and gave her my Lebanese passport, she looked at me and then looked at the passport and asked me, "Where did you steal this from?" In that moment, I wasn't a champion, I wasn't a record holder, and I wasn't the person who had proudly stood on the podium holding the Lebanese flag. I was just another Black person who, to her, could never be Lebanese. Where are you from? It's a simple question, but to me, it's always been so hard to answer. Every time someone asks me, a lifetime of complexity flashes before my eyes. It's not easy, but I realize that it's mine to define. I grew up in Liberia, a small country on the west coast of Africa. That's where my mother is from. I had a really cool childhood there, and then my mother moved to the States when I was 7, and then when I was 11 years old, a civil war broke out in the country. So my family faced a tough choice. We needed safety, education, and so we decided to move to my father's homeland, Lebanon, because, you know, Lebanon is known for its everlasting peace and security. And so when I moved there, nobody looked like me. I lived in the house where my mom, my stepmom, and my dad, and my siblings, and my cousins all had long, shiny hair that was straight and soft. And all my classmates had similar features. All the billboards I saw were filled with white or European-looking models. Meanwhile, I had no one to tell me how to take care of my curly hair, or how to keep my skin from drying out 5 minutes after stepping out of a shower, or that lip balm was an absolute necessity. And then, my first week of school, a classmate of mine called me Silankiye. See, in Arabic, the definition is a woman from Sri Lanka, but that word is used derogatorily to describe a Black person or a domestic worker. But my 12-year-old response was, "But I'm not from Sri Lanka." And then a few weeks later, we had tryouts at school for running. And the coaches noticed my potential when I won all the girls, and then I won against all the boys as well. And so running became more than just a hobby. It became my identity. It became my freedom. And I gave so much to running because of the feelings that it gave me. And so I started representing my schools in races across the Arab world, and then I started representing the country eventually. And then later, after graduating high school, between 2010 to 2017, I juggled between university and our family business and training and competing. But I never realized that running could actually be a full-time career or a full-time job. I mean, how many full-time athletes do you know in Lebanon? How many full-time female athletes do you know? But then, in 2018, after going through what felt like the end of the world to me, an existential crisis, and our family was going through a lot, and going through one of the toughest breakups in my life where I felt the pain all the way deep down to my core, and I thought that was the end of life. Mind you, that was just my first breakup. And then I came across the word, a Japanese concept, and it's called ikigai, or the reason of being. It asks 4 questions. What do you love? What are you good at? What can you be paid for? And what does the world need? And for me, all answers led to running. So I decided to quit my full-time job and focus entirely on track. And what a decision that was. That same year, a few weeks after mentally making that decision, at the West Asian Championships in Jordan in 2018, I broke the Lebanese record for the first time, officially becoming the fastest woman in Lebanese history. This was the moment that I figured out I had broken the record. I was crying so much about it. And then in 2023, at the Arab Championships, again, I managed to win a gold medal this time, and I became the 200-meter Arab champion. A few weeks later, I ran the 200-meter West Asian Championships and also got a gold medal. And that same year, I was selected by the BBC as one of the 100 women with the most influence and empowerment in the world, alongside women like Michelle Obama and Amal Clooney. And again, that was me crying. I seem to always cry in moments of happiness, but the BBC chose me not just because of my achievements on the track, but because of redefining what it means to be Lebanese. See, in Lebanon, despite its rich religious diversity, with 17 recognized sects, there are no comprehensive studies on ethnicity. All the focus is on religion, leaving entire communities invisible. So on the streets of Beirut or in Lebanon, you might see Black, East Asian, or European faces, but we never think of them as belonging. And this kind of creates harmful stereotypes. So for example, East European women are stereotyped as promiscuous, Egyptians as gas station attendants, Syrians as manual laborers, Ethiopians, Filipinos, Bangladeshis as domestic workers. This doesn't just erase identity. It fosters harmful stereotypes, and it denies people their dignity. Today, when I walk the streets of Beirut, I'm always so surprised when people actually know me on the streets and come up to me and tell me that I've affected their lives in a certain way, or that they want to walk in my footsteps, or they want to be like me, a Black Lebanese woman. And even as a champion, though, there are moments when I've been questioned, whether by that immigration officer at the airport, or by someone stopping me at a traffic light in my car to ask me how much I charge for cleaning houses. This is fine for me because I know who I am and it doesn't affect me, but I speak up so others don't feel alone and don't feel like they have to shrink themselves. A few years ago, I went to the Migrant Community Center in Beirut and met with some mixed and migrant kids between the ages of 13 to 18. I shared my story with them, and then some of them had the courage to also share theirs. Mona, a 13-year-old girl, told me that she preferred her lighter-skinned Ethiopian mother to pick her up from school rather than her darker-skinned Sudanese father, just so that she could avoid racial slurs from people in her class. Mary, a 15-year-old Sudanese girl, is followed by boys from her school while she's walking home, and she's harassed by them every single day, to the point where she was thinking about quitting school. Mazen, a 15-year-old Lebanese-Ethiopian boy, loves football so much, and he joined the team. But the coaches and the athletes with him on the team would make fun of him so much that he actually quit the team. These stories of discrimination aren't just stories of discrimination. They're stories of erasure. When we tell someone that they don't belong, we're not just hurting them, we're erasing part of their humanity. But here's the truth. Belonging isn't something that we earn. It's something that we give. Our differences should be celebrated and not hidden. Sometimes, just being kind is enough to change the course of someone's life. So, if there's one message I'd like to leave you with today, it's this. Be unapologetically yourself and never deny others the right to do the same. And if you ask me today where I'm from, the answer isn't held in one place and one passport and one experience. It's in this poem that I wrote that I'd love to share with you today. I am my mother's womb, I am my two land soils. I am war, I am peace, I am calm, I am turmoil. I am my brown skin, I am my curly hair. I am all of my differences. It's okay, you can stare. I'm all of my siblings and all the people I love. I am my sisters and brothers' keepers. They're my gifts from above. I am my first love. I am my biggest heartbreak. I am generational trauma. I am my family's aches. I am my worst sins and my biggest virtues. I am all of my dreams. I am my breakthroughs. I am my vision board and all of my missed goals. I am the smallest part and the complete whole. I am the oceans I swam in and the mountains I've climbed. I am the races I ran, all my medals combined. I'm forever changing. I'm never the same. Yesterday, I was fearful. Today, I am brave. I'm Lebanese. I'm Liberian. 2 countries, 2 continents. I am a conundrum, but it's safe to say there's more to me than where I come from. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.